Cheryl, it was a quiet decision released last month that could impact millions of people in the country. A change to how immigration laws are enforced could mean anyone arrested will remain detained until they are deported. But some attorneys are now pushing back. This week, the federal government said in court that since July, more than 1,800 people have been arrested in the Chicago area. But having their day in court is not a guarantee. The immigration court is convoluted. It does not fall under the judicial branch. It falls under the executive branch. Separate from criminal court, a person's rights are much more limited. ABC 7 Chief Legal Analyst Gil Sofer.
The proceedings in an immigration court, they're not criminal, they're civil. The question isn't whether someone has committed a crime. The question is whether they can be deported. And the rights are different.
Right. Now, a new immigration court directive could keep people detained much longer before they're deported. In September, the Board of Immigration Appeals, the top administrative body which interprets and applies immigration laws, released a new decision. For the first time in American history, the court ruled immigration judges can no longer grant bond for undocumented immigrants who enter the U.S. without authorization, all but guaranteeing mandatory detention for those detained.
It is a monumental decision. It's a change in approach for sure.
DHS calling the ruling, quote, a big win for our ICE attorneys, securing our ability to detain illegal aliens until they are deported. But immigration advocates and attorneys say it's a total sea change.
It overturned decades of case law, of regulations and laws.
Judge Payton is a former assistant chief immigration judge who was fired by the Trump administration this past July. She says without cause. Now she's in private practice and says undocumented people seeking a bond hearing have to hire an attorney like her to file petitions in federal court outside of immigration court to try to get relief.
Demanding that the federal courts review the decision of the immigration court and tell them that they're wrong and they should hold a bond hearing.
It felt very dehumanizing.
Tonight at 10 p.m., the I-Team looks at one family challenging this new court directive, all to release their father.
The moment they put him in a van, we didn't know where he was going.
Now, the ACLU has sued the Trump administration over its no bond policy from being enforced. A hearing in that case is scheduled a week from today.
All because these immigration courts are under the executive, not the judicial branch of government.
Absolutely. Different set of rules, different set of evidence, and different rights for the people coming before the judge. Of course, you're going to hear much more from Judge Payton tonight at 10 o'clock.
Well, y'all heard him. It's not under the judicial, it's under the executive, which means it's the power of the president and I believe the vice president, which means they don't go under the same rules. So when y'all yelling this due process shit, look, due process is literally for citizens, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally for people in the U.S. that is authorized to be in the U.S. You don't come over past and that's what their fight is about. First off, the fight is an executive branch, which means the president more has a say than the courts. You know what I mean? So judges can't really do anything about that. You know what I'm saying? So you're creating bond, which means this person with this amount of money could leave even though they were denied access to the United States. Here's a bond for your next hearing. But you're still illegally here. And this is the way I'm going to defend this, because I like to play devil's advocate a little bit, but I'm going to defend this by saying that I know that people were saying that they need due process. Well, this actually states that they're getting their due process, but they don't have to be released back into the environment. Definitely when they were denied, when they came in unauthorized. Like, it's different when you came in with a visa or a work visa or a school visa, whatever. You come and then it expires. Okay, that's different. You had authorization initially, so you could possibly get bond. But coming in illegally, 8 USC code 325. If you came in illegal entry, then that's different. That means you not only broke a federal crime, that's something, you must be prosecuted against. And not only that, you're now captured and you must be held until you're ready to be deported. And, they do it to everybody, right? Like, it's the same thing with, like Tory Lanez. He's a Canadian immigrant. He got in trouble. He's serving a 10-year sentence in California. After his 10-year sentence, he's being deported because anything over, I think 1 year exactly, if you're sentenced and you're an immigrant, you must go back and you're deported. So everybody must do this. You know what I'm saying? If you did a crime, you must serve your time in the United States, and then they deport you to the land that you originally came from. or they suspect you're from. That being said, so, because what some people are misunderstanding, they're assuming that if you can, basically, if you can come in this country, you can have the same rights as somebody that entered legally, through the ports. That's different. That person possibly I'm not even too far fetched if a person doesn't get the same rights and benefits as a person that either is a citizen or is off of a visa or is legal immigration inside the United States. But for an individual that comes in here through the ports illegally, under the radar, hide out, get caught, why would you have the same due process as someone that is supposed to be here? You know what I mean? It's like you can come here, hide in our country, commit crime to our country or individuals in our country, and then you should go through the court system to be sentenced. Really, I don't think that should apply to that person because they shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? But that's me personally. Everybody has his own thought about this situation. I do think this is a win for immigration because what's going on, because basically what they were doing before is they were getting these people, capturing them, and then they were setting a bond for them. They'll get back on the streets. Knowing that they probably get deported, some people commit more crimes. Not saying they did, but just saying it does happen. So I guess this is a win for the executive branch. You know who runs the executive branch. So that being said, I don't think this is going to stop anytime soon. They're well funded right now. They're really doing what they petitioned on it. I'm not against it completely, no, due to the fact that, the rules are the rules, man. Regardless if it's a criminal act, misdemeanor, felony, it doesn't even matter. Capital murder, I don't care what it is. It's a crime. And crimes have rules and laws and consequences to said rules. So that being said, you must obey that if you must want to stay in the United States of America. That's just what it is. It's what it's always been. You know what I mean? I also just released a video on a guy in the suburbs of Chicago in Naperville, one of the best living cities in the state of Illinois, top 3. He actually, the same process. He wasn't illegal though. He was a regular guy. He was given bond. So they're, slap on the wrist for the criminals, basically. That's what they're doing. They're giving bond to people with a first degree attempted murder. Dangerous to society. Gave him a bond, gave him a bracelet until it's time to arrive back at court. He cut it and he's been on the run forever. Now he's on the FBI watch list. So that being said, people got to understand that basically in the state of Illinois and in general, a lot of immigration rules, they're really light on everybody. And then the rules in the state of Illinois is very, very light. They're giving criminals guns. They're giving illegals guns. They're making them sworn police officers to enforce the law that they're breaking. It's a big mixture of things. So if you don't understand it, you won't understand it. But you got to look from the outside looking in on how it's looking like, okay, I'm a citizen. Why do I have to follow the rules if this person can't follow the rules? In that case, I should bring some people over here too and do that same thing. You know what I mean? You just got to watch who you're bringing into your homeland, your domain, because it could be a risk to the American people. We don't know how many terrorists or anybody that has agendas in this country that knows that the birthright citizenship, and they're in this country now and they've given birth. So that's why I see a lot of these immigrants that are picked up. They're like, oh, my wife is pregnant or, stuff like that. That's because why? You probably got pregnant 9 months ago when you knew Donald Trump was the president. You said, fuck, I need these children in here at least. Oh, now y'all thinking. You should have been thought that. And that's why Donald Trump to this moment is trying to get rid of birthright citizenship, because people have snuck over here illegally, been over here illegally. Now they hide out why they have a baby and the baby's born into the country, which makes the baby American. We should take that away. That was for slaves, and it should maintain for them. You know what I mean? So in that aspect, it's being taken advantage of by people that are breaking the federal law. And now those kids get to live in here, probably use their parents as they start to sponsor their parents due to the fact that they're young. It's a lot of information for someone that probably don't know about this stuff, but it does going on. My predictions personally, I think America's going to be infiltrated. It has to be, because of the fact that look what's going on. If the people that you've already let in, how many babies out of the 7 million people, the 11 million people that was let into the country, how many people you believe had children? Say half of that population was women. We're looking at about 5.5 million women. How many out of those 5.5 million women, perhaps, had a baby in the last 4 years? 9 months. Come on, man. Y'all got to be smart about what's going on here, man. It's your boy Angel Savage. Tell me what y'all think about this in the comments section. Don't think too hard. You might hurt yourself. Don't forget to like the video for the YouTube algorithm. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy Savage. Let's go. Peace.